What?
He needs to be logged in.
Oh, you need to be
Technical
logged.
difficulties.
Got a lot of people talking about 5.2.
That's crazy. Flashing is off.
Hold on just a minute.
Okay. I'll wait for you.
Oh, my, I don't know.
Can we have roll call?
We're just having a little bit of technical
holding on a
difficulty.
Okay.
Normally they have this going already.
Normally, there's more people to help.
I started it and then I didn't finish it. You want me to do it?
Well, it's not
It's
signing
not
on.
signing you on? Okay.
Do you need your book?
No, I don't have his written down. It's all up here.
Oh.
Okay.
Steel trap. Do you know yours? We'll find out.
Just do this with one thing.
I wouldn't know how to do it either. So. What'd you think of it?
Every time I do something new.
It's all bullshit.
That's hilarious.
Funny guy.
You are.
The economy's taken.
Huh?
The economy's taken. 75-cent gallon rate
I
per
know.
gas. I'm not worried about Trump. Ready?
Yeah. Okay. Call to order.
That's great.
Roll call.
Trustee Henderson?
Here.
Trustee Brady?
Here.
Trustee Pinkerton?
Here.
Trustee Wood?
Here, and I did attend the closed session via Zoom.
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll announce the pastor.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Pastor Jeff Whitney of the Church of the Nazarene, please come forward. And I'll say this as he walks up. You are close to retirement and you'll be leaving the great state of California on May 2nd? Yes. Is that correct? That's correct.
Wow.
So thanks
Looking
for all
forward
your
to that,
service
huh?
to the High Desert and the Church of the Nazarene. And
Yeah.
I've attended your church and it's a very impressive place to be.
Thank you, Mr. Brady.
Thank you.
Before we pray, may I make a small request?
Sure.
Or a large request? Our student trustee is having some health issues and she asked that we pray for her. If we could include her, her name is Deanna Fulton.
Yeah, okay, we'll do
Thank
that.
you.
All right, let's pray together. Our Heavenly Father, it's a great privilege to be able to pray tonight. We thank you that you are here in our midst. Tonight I pray that you would be with everyone in this room. Be with the Board of Trustees and everyone who's going to speak tonight. Give us discernment and insight and great wisdom. Help us, lead us, and guide us. Lord, we lift up Deanna to you tonight. Pray that you would touch her and be with her. And I thank you, Lord, that your peace is going to be here in this meeting tonight. Lead and guide everything that happens. And we thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pastor. Be safe.
Okay. Closed session report out.
There's nothing to report out, no action was taken.
Okay. Announcements of items deleted or corrected from the agenda?
There are none.
None? Okay. Public comments related to non-agenda items? I've got one. And it's from Peter
Francis,
Fencer, F-A-N-C-E-R.
Peter Francis.
Fencer.
Dear Board of Trustees members, VVC faculty and staff, and members of the public. I'm here this evening to bring to your attention concerns VVCFA has regarding the district's legal counsel representing the district during VVCFA contract negotiations. In support of all of my colleagues, I feel it necessary to inform the board of the district's lawyers' tactics in continuously arguing and questioning every minute detail of what is proposed or commented on by VVCFA bargaining representatives. Negotiations between the district and VVCFA should be nearing completion for the next 3-year contract. However, the district's lawyers' modus operandi is to antagonize and demean all members of the VVCFA's negotiating team. It seems apparent that the district does not want to move forward with negotiations, and we fear bad faith bargaining. The district's lawyers' continuous inability to authentically negotiate has negatively impacted VVCFA and the district coming to agreement on key issues related to the role and responsibilities of full-time faculty at VVC. VVCFA finds this troubling, as the district's lawyer does not live with the decisions negotiated regarding safety and working conditions. VVCFA is incredibly concerned that we will not be able to complete the next 3-year contract within the near future, despite our efforts to move forward with negotiations with the district along at every bargaining session. Representatives to our proposals are simply crossed out. We are concerned that there is no authentic negotiation here, especially in the areas of safety and intellectual property. The district lawyer's confrontational tone directed towards all members of the VVCFA bargaining team feel like we are in a courtroom setting where we are being cross-examined, rather than sitting at the table as equal participants in the negotiating process. These elements and more demonstrate a clear lack of respect for the negotiating process, and it is the seriousness with which VVCFA is approaching its duty to negotiate with the district. Thank you.
So, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Board President, the next item is an action item, but we moved this up for a reason. So the public comments related to action agenda items would need to happen now,
Okay. So you want
rather than at their
to
normal
move
place.
Motion?
5.2 to right now?
It's actually in there, it's at 5.1.
That's
So we just
5.1.
need to make a motion.
You don't need to do anything, I'm just explaining
Okay,
why we did it.
okay. You're just ahead of everything here.
So these are the people we call.
Yeah. Okay. So public comments related to action agenda items, SVLA, Board of Directors election. And I have,
Point of order, Mr. President,
excuse me?
point of order. My submission was for 4.1, public comment on non-agenda items.
I didn't see it.
I put it on your
I think they
seat.
mixed it in.
Hold on a minute. I didn't see it. Your name's not on here in front of me.
He is. Hold on 1 second.
So while Michelle's doing that, I think most of us, except for trustee Wood, saw Robert Reed was here at 5:30.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so he was here for a reason.
So he did, although it is on the SBL Board of Directors candidacy, he wanted to speak as a non-agenda item.
What?
So
I'm sorry. I didn't catch that.
it's on the SBLA Board of Directors candidates, but he wants to speak as a non-agenda item.
Oh, I see.
So I put it on, so
But
that
that's-
he would speak at
That is,
4.1.
that is an agendized item.
It is agenda.
That's agendized.
So he can speak now.
Can we go ahead and have him speak first?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Call him up.
What's his name?
Mr. Reed
Mr. Robert Reed
Jr.
Jr., I guess.
Dr. Walden, Board of Trustees, thank you very much for this opportunity to speak before you. I'm here to talk about the election that you have a responsibility to vote in. You have 19 votes. You are part of Spring Valley Lake Association. For a number of years, you did not vote prior to 2019 when I ran for the board because you were instructed by Spring Valley Lake Association that you vote in public, therefore your votes don't count. I fought that for a couple of years, and that's when I ran for the board to try to change that. Mr. Henderson, I think you were present in 2019 when a number of us candidates sat here and talked to you about the election. My purpose is this. This election, there are some good people running. But the problem is the following. There were good people running in 2019 too. And each one of you individually sat there and asked each one of us, what if we would make a promise to you, or a commitment to you, that we would work with you to better the relationship between Victor Valley College and Spring Valley Lake Association. Because up to that time, there was hardly anything conversing between you. Each one of us made a commitment to work to benefit and improve, enhance the relationships with VVC. Regrettably, at our very first meeting in May, following the election of April, the president of Spring Valley Lake excuse me, got the wrong hat on. The president of the Spring Valley Lake Association put a measure before our board of directors stating that nobody on the board of directors for Spring Valley Lake Association would be allowed to converse with you in any way, period. I challenged that, but when the vote came, the president of the Spring Valley Lake Board of Directors, along with 5 other members, voted not to work with you at all. I was very upset about that. I went to a trustee that you all know I work with on many projects, and I told him about it. He wrote a letter to him saying he didn't think that was right. The following meeting, they ostracized him. They voted that nobody on the board of directors could work with the trustee, period. I was very upset about that. Tonight, you have a number of candidates here to ask for your vote. Our mission statement in Spring Valley Lake Association is to serve all members. You are members of 19 and more because you have 19 votes. We are supposed to be serving you. You are a member of Spring Valley Lake. I asked the following of you. I asked you when these fine people address you and you reply, you ask questions of them. Okay? Asking them how they plan to enhance the support of Victor Valley College for your students, your HOA members.
Can we extend his time? Oh, I'm going to make a motion
We
that
need
we
a
extend
motion.
your time. Your
He
time
just
is
made a
up.
Second.
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. I ask you to ask them in depth, truly vet them and ask them if they will make a commitment to you to work with you for the benefit of this college, for our HOA, and for our community. It is very upsetting. When we had an event here this last week, the Spring Valley Lake Veterans Club, we came to you and asked if we could use some of your students to play our music. Without a snap of a fingers, a commit was made. Those children showed up, and I call them children. There's 4 generations between me and them. And they were fantastic. You should be very proud of what you do here. But that is what needs to come together. We need to form a coalition of Bear Valley Lake Country Club, Spring Valley Lake Association, and Victor Valley College. We need to have liaisons between us. I fought for 2 years when I was on that board, and I could never get that approved. Tonight, you have new board members. If they would unite, they could give it to us. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Okay, now, we're gonna have Tim Craig, I'm sorry. Tim?
Hi, good evening. Thanks for letting me talk tonight. My name's Tim Craig. I'm running for Board of Directors for Spring Valley Lake Association. I've lived here since 1985. I moved to Spring Valley Lake in 85, bought my first home in 1986, raised two grown daughters, one 38, one 34 tomorrow. They don't live here anymore. I have two younger kids right now, 11 and 7, and have been here for quite a while, but wasn't really involved in Spring Valley Lake Association activities too much. I was concentrating on my business. I was a Jack in the Box franchisee, and I had a large territory, and I was trying to fulfill what I was supposed to do. And then about 5 years ago, it was suggested to me that now that my time is a little bit more easy, I should try to give back, because other people who served on the board for all those years did a wonderful job, and but maybe now is my turn. So I'm trying to run and see if I can take what we've done and possibly improve it. We've had some very strong challenges in the last few years. We had a water district that it was attempted to be put together that fell through. We have a lake that's having health quality problems, and we had a country club, which was kind of the core of Spring Valley Lake, that was going up for sale, and there was concern that who might end up being the buyer. We've got past most of those, but there's quite a bit more that needs to happen in the future. One of the things that I intend to focus on, first and foremost, I have a financial background. I tend to look at things in that way. I believe that a good board will have a complement of financial, will have the visionary people, the people that have the broader view. But you also have to have someone there to mind the dollars and cents to allow for those things to happen. And I believe that's one of the things that we haven't had lately. We haven't had a complement of different skill sets. I'm hoping to improve that if elected, and get a little bit more involved in the planning and project management of the various projects they put together, and then reinstitution of accounting and operating principles, as well as an investment planning protocol. Second, I'm hoping to restore some kind of continuity, because the problem with boards, at least at Spring Valley Lake, is there's no memory. We have a board that does something, and then that board will eventually turn completely, and there's not a whole lot of record of what good things were put in place before. And then we're trying to reinvent the wheel, when in fact, the wheel was put in pretty good shape 10 years ago or 12 years ago, and then we kind of ignored that. So we're trying to have an overview of that as well. I know it's limited time, and I know you got a full house and lots of things to talk about. So all I can say is thank you for making the time for us. I hope I wasn't aware of any issues, relationship issues with Victor Valley and Spring Valley Lake, but everybody who votes is a constituent. And I've been doing a lot of listening, and there's a lot of good things that we're learning from people, and hopefully if this turns out, we'll be listening to you guys as well.
Well, you work with the college.
Absolutely. I don't have any idea what that was all about, to be honest with you. I don't. I can't imagine why that tactic was taken, but I'm absolutely.
I'll answer it after you're all done.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
Michael Hingson.
Right? Podium?
Thank you. There we go. Thanks very much for allowing us to be here. I need to apologize first because I had asked my guide dog Alamo here to give our presentation tonight, but he forgot to bring his card for Michelle. So you have to put up with me. sorry. I am Mike Hingson. I'm the author of the #1 New York Times bestselling book, Thunderdog, the story of a blind man, his guide dog, and the triumph of trust at Ground Zero, because I worked on the 78th floor of Tower 1 of the World Trade Center on September 11th as the Mid-Atlantic Region sales manager for a computer company, and escaped, and have been a keynote public speaker ever since. So if the college ever needs a speaker, and just saying. But I moved to Spring Valley Lake now, well, we moved 8 years ago, actually almost 9 years ago, lived in an apartment across town, but built a home for me and my wife that we moved into in December of 2016. Karen used a wheelchair her whole entire life, so we built a home that was fully accessible and enjoy the community a great deal. Karen passed this past November, so it is now just me, which gives me more time to do things, among which is running for the board because I've contemplated it and feel that I can add value. I've been on homeowner association boards before, and in this association, last year, we couldn't even get a quorum to hold the election for board members on the day that it was supposed to happen. And it was postponed, I think, twice, at least once, before we finally got a quorum. Do you know what a quorum is here? A quorum at the Spring Valley Lake Association is 25% of homeowners. That's 1,200 homeowners, and we couldn't even get a quorum. So one of the things that I certainly would like to do is to help the board become more engaged and engage myself as a member of the board and really get more people involved in the community. As I said, I've served on boards before. I understand the value and what we can do as an association inside the association, and I will just say it right up front, given where Victor Valley College is, certainly it should be part of what we are involved with. Certainly we should be working with the college. Certainly we need to learn more about the college, and the college needs to learn more about the board. Y'all probably know a whole lot more about the board right now than I do, but I believe that we do need to work together. We need to establish a synergy. This board, the board of the Spring Valley Lake Homeowners Association, needs to develop a strategic plan. So as Tim said, we need continuity. We need to really make this process something that builds a history and builds something that everyone can appreciate, and more important, builds something where homeowners and all constituents of the association will want to be a part of, so we'll never have a problem getting a quorum again. And I really would appreciate your votes. I'd appreciate you asking other people to vote for me to be on the board. I would appreciate your support and glad to answer any questions. I heard that. Can I answer anything? Okay.
Yeah, you answered it
Will you
all.
work with our board?
Well, yes, I will work with the board and the college.
Okay.
They're the same, right?
Yeah.
Well, sort of. Yes, of course I would.
Okay,
That
good.
goes without saying, absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Brad Littner.
Pardon me.
Good evening, leaders. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you tonight. My name is Brad Lettner, and I'm here to ask for your consideration for the SVLA Board of Directors. I retired from the Army as a lieutenant colonel in 2014 after 2 tours in Afghanistan, 2 at the Pentagon, several other postings with regional, national, international impact. I was selected for a battalion command. I graduated from the Army's Command and General Staff College, and I was awarded the Bronze Star for my service in Afghanistan. Locally, I've served as the CEO of the Hesperia Chamber of Commerce, where I was a key part of the effort to combine our local chambers so we could have a larger impact by working together. I was the final interim city manager for the city of Adelanto before the city council was finally able to fill the position permanently. I've also served on the Adelanto Elementary School District for 4 years, where I completed the California School Board Association Masters of Governance training. I've been a director on the board of the St. Mary Medical Center Foundation, a trustee of the Spring Valley Lake chapter of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and I was a member of our Victor Valley College President's Circle for several years. I'm currently an incumbent on the SVLA board. I'm running for re-election for my second 2-year term. SVLA has 7 directors, We have chosen term limits of 2 consecutive 2-year terms. And that means you'll vote for 3 directors tonight. And next year, the remaining 4 all complete their second term at the same time, and they will all 4 be replaced. So it is my hope that if I am elected, I can serve as continuity for the 2 new members this year and 4 new members next year. I've spent my time thus far striving to share what I've learned as an elected school board member and as a city manager about how board meetings are run professionally with transparency and efficiency. And I believe I've made a difference in my first 2 years. One of the things of which I'm proudest was reestablishing our Finance and Budget Committee. It had been dormant since before I was elected. I believe fiscal discipline is the most important duty for any board, right next to setting the direction, vision, and goals for the chief executive. I set 4 major goals at the beginning of my term, and SVLA has achieved or is well on the way to achieving them all. Finally, I chose to run alongside David Stolfus and Paul Stanton because they are both currently serving on SVLA committees. They're both highly involved members of our community with a proven track record of working together positively, representing the interests of our residents and owners. So I hope you will consider casting Victor Valley College's votes for the SVLA Board of Directors for the 3 of us, Brad Lettner, David Stolfus, and Paul Stanton. Thank you for your time, and I truly look forward to working with you in the years to come.
David Stolfus.
I don't understand it.
Did I get that right, Stolfus? Okay.
Didn't we just see you last month?
Yeah, I wanted to leave an impression. Well, I didn't want to be the only one not leaving an impression tonight. So, good evening, trustees. My name is David Stolfus, and I am running for the Spring Valley Lake Board of Directors, and I would like to respectfully request your consideration when you cast the college's votes. I'm running for the board of SVLA because of my love for that community and a passion for the community. And when I say community, I do include VVC as part of that statement. You are the forward-facing front of Spring Valley Lake. I mean, when people drive down Bear Valley Road, they see the college, Spring Valley Lake. I've lived in and been active in Spring Valley Lake for nearly 32 years. I currently serve as chairperson of the Finance and Budget Committee. I am the Commodore of the Yacht Club. You don't have to have a boat. It is a social club, but we do lots of community building events in the community there. Serving as a board member is kind of the next logical step for me. I understand the importance of VVC not only in this community, but in the desert as a whole. As a teacher for Victor Elementary for 19 years, I see students on a daily basis, and it gives me hope to know that VVC is here for them when that time comes. Some of my fellow candidates talk about new perspectives and the need for change. And in my current role as an instructional coach, it's taught me that real sustainable change starts with positives, building on what we're doing right. It's incremental. And professionally, I am an agent of change. I work to help educators improve their craft, and I work to improve the systems that they work within. And I will bring that skill to SVLA when and where it's needed. In closing, I want you to know that I will work to ensure that SVLA and VVC, we will strengthen our relationship. I'm sure there are multiple opportunities for us to synergize, and I intend to try to find them. I appreciate your consideration. I appreciate your considering for Mr. Brad Lettner and for Mr. Paul Stanton as well. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Rick Zimmerman.
I thank the board for allowing me to address them. I will go quickly. I have a lot to say. My name is Rick B. Zimmerman. I'm running for a seat on the board of directors of Spring Valley Lake Association, and I'm here to show why I believe my education, experience, integrity, skill sets, and creative talents are a good fit for this position. I also want to list some issues that I will focus on if selected. I attended Arizona State University on a music scholarship and graduated with distinction in engineering from the Del Webb School of Construction. I made the Dean's List and was accepted to the Sigma Lambda Chi Construction Honors Fraternity. Upon graduation, I entered the MBA program and was also recruited by Del Webb to work at Sun City and Sun City West based on a paper I had written on mass production housing. I didn't know at the time, but Del Webb was growing their mass production housing operation, and at our peak, we were doing 110 new housing starts a week. Later, obtained my own general contractor license, went into business engineering and building structural roof systems. At Arizona State, I was deeply involved with the Alumni Association, was nominated by the LA chapter here to receive the Outstanding Alumni Award, and was awarded the Felix E. McKernan Alumni Achievement Award. I've been with the Fiesta Bowl since 1971 at its inception. I created 3 of their events, chaired various committees, including game operation and parade committee for a combination of 24 years. I was twice nominated for Volunteer of the Year, winning it in 1990. The board elected me as a life member and subsequently recommended it to the 1984 Olympic Organizing Committee that they should hire me to assist in setting up and managing the 1984 Olympics. I was the facilities coordinator for the ceremonies department for all 22 venues and managed the medals, flags, national anthems, and assisted in training 250 senior college volunteers that assisted us in the awards opening and closing ceremonies. After the Olympics, I moved to Long Beach and went to work for major marine contractors building $30 to $50 million container terminals in the Port of Los Angeles. Subsequently, I went on to develop regional parks with baseball diamonds and tennis courts. I went to work for many years with a major national retail developer constructing and developing shopping centers in 10 western states. Also went out as a consultant on my own, working for Wild Wings, Deutsche Bank, Jones Lang LaSalle. And with the Lake Arrowhead Country Club, I'm an unprecedented 3-time member of the year. My main focuses are repairing and preserving structural integrity of the lake coving. I think we have a major problem there. Maintaining the water quality and clarity, I believe we have a big problem there. Better speed abatement and completion of Meadowlark Lake, or Meadowlark Park.
Will you work with the college?
Oh, of course, I've worked with Arizona State University for 10 years very closely, so. And my wife's a fundraiser, she'd love to be involved. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
And that, let's see, Rick Bowie? Is that right, B-U-I?
No.
Close enough, huh? Okay.
Rick Bowie. I didn't really have any, should I start?
Yeah.
I really didn't have any intention of running. I have 2 kids we're trying to put through college. One's at Nebraska, one's in Oregon. But the following is what I've observed that compelled me to run. We've had a park there with 2 baseball fields that was built and not to specification with Little League, so now it's been sitting there for 5 years. Now we're going to build it again. We have a dog park that was built, and the dogs are getting out, so we got to build it again. We had a lake drainage cleaning issue this past 6 months. We drained it, and I believe we completed just 5%. I don't know what the plan is for the next 5 years or 10 years, but when they lowered the lake, I kind of observed more damage because when they lowered the lake, the water line dropped, so that caused more erosion. And the next thing was the lake repairs itself. I know that our homeowners have specific requirements as far as the rebars, the epoxy rebars, the pylons, the footings. I did not observe any of that. So that was my concern, is how is it that we sign a contract where we approve something, but that has requirements that's less than what the homeowners are required to do. So all of that, it's kind of raised my eyebrows about, how much we're spending and losing and just kind of wasting money, stuff that shouldn't have been done that way. Tim Tim Craig here, addressed some financial concerns that I thought he brought up to the board, but I thought he was dismissed. And then him and another gentleman left the financial board. To me, that's concerning. My background is in finance too. So, when I kind of see that kind of actions, kind of raises my eyebrows. Rick Zimmerman, he didn't get to finish the story, but he developed the Del Webbs, the Pike in Long Beach, and managed Lowe's. So those type of character, you want that's someone you want. And he was actually on the boat taking a tour of the coving, and he addressed a lot of stuff, and it concerned me that he wasn't invited back. So all this stuff is, just kind of caused great concern to me, because it seems like we don't have any policy or procedures in place to prevent the same mistakes happening again. And based on how the whole operation looks, it doesn't look like we have any expertise or project management involved in these projects. When we have a project at our companies, we're hiring a project manager to oversee everything, make sure everything's correct. And I don't think we're, I don't know if it's being done, but it doesn't look like it's being done. And that is why I'm running, to hopefully not have the same mistakes again and have policies and procedures in place so that we don't have the same mistakes. Thank you.
You work with the college?
Well, I work with the college. Before my intent to run, I've been blowing up the phones of Mr. Sewell over there, Mr. Pinkerton, Elizabeth, as far as getting, working together, having a music program for the kids, for the bridge that gap for you guys, having a gaming program, having a basketball program. We're actually planning and hoping that the HOA approves it, but we're actually planning a basketball and gaming function for the kids to expose them to that environment, and along with your students, hoping that they'll be there to help so that they can bridge that gap. So when they grow up, they'll be encouraged to go to college. And that all happened before my plans to run, so I had no intention. This is just on my own. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that concludes the candidates. Okay, we're going to move to 5.2. Election, Spring Valley Lake Association election.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, discussion?
So the bylaws do not allow for cumulative voting, so there are 3 open positions which provide each lot with 3 votes in this election. The 3 candidates receiving the highest number of votes will be elected by a 2-year term. So each lot can select 3 names of those running for 19 lots.
Right, for 19 votes.
Okay.
So first and foremost, I'm going to say, and forgive my senioritis, I already forgot your name, the gentleman that spoke very first. No.
Craig.
The veteran?
Tim.
Robert.
Robert.
Oh,
I was gonna
Robert?
say
Oh,
a different
Robert
name.
Reed, yeah.
Robert Reed Jr., sorry. So right away, Mama Jen got mad. I don't know if I heard all of you gentlemen speak. I don't understand what, if any, relationship issue there is, but there shouldn't be one. And I don't appreciate even implying that there is one. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but it doesn't make Mama Jen happy at all. So if anybody wants to address that question and maybe just give us a little bit more information as to why that would even be a conversation that occurs at a board meeting, that would be super helpful for me personally.
Trustee, let me help fill the blanks.
Thank you.
Oh, Robert could.
Robert can, because that's his comment, right?
Right.
I've lived in Spring Valley Lake for 35 years as of May 13th. I was a part of a group that was created in 2010 called Spring Valley Concerned Property Owners. 6 years ago, there was an issue between the association. We never got to the bottom of it. The college spent monies with an attorney trying to figure out why all of a sudden our votes did not count. And it was real nasty. I think Trustee Wood was on the board at the time. This was a 2-year battle, okay? To answer your question, it was President Rory Shannon, who instructed the board not to have anything to do with the college, and it was Roy Shannon who instructed the board not to have anything to do with trustee Joseph Brady here at the college. So it's really more of a personality contest. I think that once some of the members of the board, I think, changed out, I think that it went away. Why we had 2 years where our votes were not counted, I don't know. I never understood it. So that's where part of the, I
Right,
think
but
that's part of the history. That
Was Robert telling us a story from 2 years ago? Or was it something that recently occurred? Did I miss something?
No, I think what he was trying to say is back
It was a
at-
while ago?
Yeah, but there has been an attempt, I think, by him and others to have a relationship with the college. The problem was it never happened.
So that didn't happen recently?
No, it happened 2019, so that's just a couple of years ago.
Since I've been here,
There's been a good
4 months, I've had no issues.
Okay, then I
With
apologize for my
Valley Lake.
tone. I misunderstood. Clarity and information is everything. Thank you.
So I will say this, there's 4,215 lots in Spring Valley Lake. We're about 95% built out, about 12,000 people in there. And there's a lot of groups, and I think that, one of the members, say Michael, and you did a great job in talking about it. Like in any group today across the country, everybody's somewhat divided. And so getting people out to vote is like a real big thing. And I think having that relationship between Bear Valley Country Club and Victor Valley College in Spring Valley Lake is a monumental thing. The association is 53, 54 years old. I will say this to address some concerns of some of the members. The lake is a major issue right now, and it's probably a $10 to $12 million time bomb that has to be dealt with. And the question is, we're a member, we have 19 votes. So if it gets assessed, if there's a loan that's taken out, we're going to be impacted by it. The park was not completed the way that it was. There were hundreds of thousands of dollars that have been questioned. And I do want to say about Tim Craig. I've known Tim for a long time. He was a Jack in the Box franchisee when I first started in town here. And, it takes members on their own time to go on in and pull back the onion. And sometimes when you do so, you're going to make people mad. And I can tell you that he did. And I think he did the right thing, and I totally support it, so.
Okay, I apologize for my tone again, sorry. Get
I
a little
will say
protective of
this.
VVC.
I will say this because we obviously, their time is important. We have people sitting here that have some real important business. In all the years I've lived in Spring Valley Lake, I cannot remember a time where we had more qualified candidates. As I sat here tonight and listened to every one of you talk about Spring Valley Lake and the connection, everybody brings a vast amount of experience. So to say, and I'm going to go on the record to be sure that people can't say I'm not transparent. I have some signs in front of my house representing 3 of the members that are running. They put those signs there, and I never had the other group ever ask. So it's not my endorsement. They put the signs there. I didn't have them removed. But I would say you have 6 people here out of the 7 that have showed up. And I think they've equally done a great job. I know Mr. Stanton is not here, Dr. Stanton. He's a former, I think he's a former member of the foundation board. But I would say for those people that came here, I would make the motion. And this is not a cop-out not to take a side. All of you bring a whole lot of not only experience, but you can tell that we're now at a point, we have board members running that really do care. I was a part of a group that used to help people run, and sometimes they didn't really have it in their heart to do, and then they were not great board members. I think all 6 of these would be great people to represent Spring Valley. So I'd like to make a motion that we take those 19 votes and divide it by those 6 people that are here tonight that came here and spoke.
So,
I would take the 19 votes. Somebody's going to get 1 extra vote, so I would
Yeah.
leave it at the board here for those just to divide it equally so that each one get 3, and then maybe if somebody wants to pick that person that gets the 4th, I'd leave that up to the board. Just because of my potential, it's not a conflict, but obviously I know everybody that's come tonight.
there's 7.
No,
Robert Reed doesn't
One's not
count.
running, okay,
I mean, I think.
Not yet anyway.
okay, got it.
Do you have opinion?
let me just say this, I don't live in Spring Valley Lake. I don't have a conflict or really an interest
Did you get a second?
beyond the.
Can we get a second?
There was a motion.
Oh, no. I just wanted to make a comment.
Need a second.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
I'll
not
make a
sure
second.
yet.
I'll second.
And that,
There you go.
There you go. Dennis seconded. My concerns end at the border of Victor Valley College. Not that I don't care about your neighborhood, I just don't live in there. I don't mean it in a bad way. Good job, Reed, by the way, on tipping Jen over. Nice work.
Guilty. I was like, who's mad?
Right, I'm like,
Sorry.
get a fire extinguisher. To those of you who
Just don't
came up and
understand.
spoke, I was up here reading your bios that were published, that were provided, and I would just say that all of you made an exceptional presentation, and you did not make it easy to pick.
Right.
A lot of times in a kind of a public forum, you pretty quickly get a feel for yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. But you all seem like exceptional candidates to me. You all seem like you really care. I really like the dog. I appreciate that you brought
He
the
gets the
dog.
extra vote.
And yes, I would
The
have
dog.
liked to seen the dog's presentation. But you all did an exceptional job. You made it very difficult to pick any one of you over the other. There's a motion and a second to cast the votes equally. I mean, it seems like a good idea to me. At the same time, I feel a little bit like then all of you leave and get in your car and go, well, that was a waste of time. The 19 votes kind of don't matter now because they were divided equally. You didn't really get anything. The flip side is you didn't really lose anything either. And it was very nice to hear from all of you. It is kind of tough to say just spread them out equally and have you leave here not coming up at all. But I think it's also a tribute to the fact that, at least from my position, not knowing any of you, well, Brad a little bit, but not really knowing any of you, that you've all made a really good showing here as far as I'm concerned, so. Do you want
I
to?
might just say, it is not a waste of time. When you leave, you will not believe it was a waste of time. You're not.
Thank you.
Thank you for making it
Thank you.
easier for me.
Yeah. Right? Sharon, do you have any
Michael, I
thoughts?
cannot tell you from the first time I heard you speak how motivated I was. I appreciate what you've done.
So if I understand this motion right, there's 19 lots. So if you're dividing them equally, you could take 18 of the lots and you would have.
Three each. Right?
So you would take 9 of those lots, 9 of the 18 would vote for 3 candidates. The other 9 would vote for the other 3 candidates. And then you have the one vote, the 19th vote, that you would need to pick 3 candidates to vote for that particular lot. So that's boiling it down for if you deal with this resolution.
So then we'd have to select 3 anyway.
There would be one more motion. You could do, if you want to pass this, you could pass it.
And then we have one more
And
to
then you have
discuss.
another lot, for 18 lots,
Mhm.
is the only way you can divide it by half, because it's
Right,
9 and 9.
right, 6.3. 3. So is this a verbal?
Any further discussion?
No, I need to write the motion though.
Okay.
So it was,
So the motion is to.
Motion to,
Here's what I have.
Okay.
Tell me if this works. The Board of Trustees take the 19 votes and divide them equally between the 6 candidates who spoke tonight. And then I list those 6 candidates for the election of the Spring Valley Lake Board of Directors.
Well, actually,
and that's
you'd
18.
have to say 18, you'd have to modify it to 18, because you can't split 19.
You can't split.
And then how do I word that extra?
And then there would have to be another
Motion.
motion for the,
Okay, I have to select a final resolution that would
You could have, so you could have an amendment to this one that tells you what to do with the 19th lot. Anybody want to make that?
Do you have
I'll make a
anything to
motion.
say?
Wait, we have to take a vote on.
No,
Since I have to,
no, you're going to move to amend the resolution for the 19th vote.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion to amend to cast, one of the 19th votes for Brad Lettner.
You got two more.
Right, I'll do one.
You wanna do-
I'll make a motion to cast the one extra for Brad.
All right, you got two more.
second, do we have a second on it?
Well,
I heard a motion.
I'm adding to your motion.
Okay.
We're splitting them equally and now we have to cast
You have to have the
three
one.
more votes.
Right.
I'm making a motion, we cast one of those votes for Brad. It's an
You've
amendment
got-
to your motion.
you've almost got three groups here. You've got three on one side, three on the other, and Michael in the middle. Michael's not running on a slate.
All right.
So
Well,
I would make a motion to give Michael a vote,
Second.
okay?
Beautiful.
And then,
Or that
I'll-
happens.
what?
We're
You
adding
got a
on.
second on it.
Yeah,
got a
and
second.
then- And then,
I made a motion to cast
I
one of the
hate this
three
so
for
much.
Brad, Dennis seconded. Joe has made a motion to cast one of the three for Michael, I seconded. We have one more vote.
Okay, so
can I make the third one? Do you want to make the
Go
third one?
ahead.
Nope.
You know these people more than I do.
Nope, somebody else has to do it.
You can do it.
You can do
Don't
it.
you whisper in her ear.
Joe, you can do it
He
if
said.
You can do it.
want.
Yes.
And the
His
third
or
one
his?
to Tim
He
Craig.
said Lettner, he said Michael
What? What did you say?
Hinkson.
Tim Craig.
Okay, so
Craig.
so to
Tim
do
Craig.
this correctly, you
Is
have
there
to
a
vote on,
correctly?
you have to vote on each amendment, one at a time.
Sorry, guys, this is brain damage.
So
It's
the
like
way, the
this
way you
every
did this,
time.
you've got three amendments to the motion.
Can we just get?
So you
even
need a
number
vote
of
on
lots?
each amendment. You've got a first and a second on each one.
Well, we need the third one though. Can we
You
get
have
the
it.
third
He
one?
gave
He
you,
said,
he did two.
What was the?
He
what was
said
the-
Tim Craig.
He did too.
Tim
Tim
Craig.
Craig, okay, and who seconded?
She
And
did.
then Michael.
Sharon.
Okay, hold on.
Hinkson.
Michael,
Trustee Pinkerton seconded.
Let- Yeah,
So
let Michelle
you'll-
catch up.
Hinkson, okay, so it was, motion by Brady, second by Whitmer, for Michael, for Hingston?
Hingston, yes.
Okay, and then, add motion,
Oh my gosh.
Colby, and then who was the third?
Brady, motion for Tim Craig,
Second by Pinkerton.
seconded by Pinkerton.
you're watching brain surgery at work.
Hardly.
Well,
Hardly.
this isn't exactly.
And
by
I just
Robert's
like,
rules, but it's-
I just like to say this to
I
the six
know.
candidates as well as to Paul, who's not here tonight. Not everybody's going to win this year, and I really, would really urge you to stay, no matter who doesn't get in, to stay really involved.
One vote.
Next year, we're going
Yeah.
to lose 4 board members, and we need to have, like Brad said, some
One vote
continuity
for
on the board.
everything. For the 18 votes and then the 3 extra votes.
No, you can't, you wouldn't be able, Robert's rules, okay, you have 4 votes going here. So the first
So we have to
one,
have 4.
I'd recommend that the board vote on Brandon's motion first.
Joe, it has to go in order, right? So
Well, the order that was, she wrote them down.
Joe's motion first.
No,
Wait.
Brandon made the first motion.
Which one is easiest for you to do first?
Joe made the first.
Oh, that is last. That's the last
Oh.
vote.
I have a question.
Robert says it's the first vote. Which one's easiest,
So the
Michelle?
very first one is for the 18 votes.
Is that
Yes.
the
Right.
easiest for you to take?
Well, I don't know that it matters.
No, you have amendments to the first one. You can't vote on it yet. You have to vote on the amendments,
Amendments first. Okay.
amendments first, and then the resolution that was
So then,
amended,
Robert.
this guy's first. What's
as
his name?
amended.
Okay.
What's his
so
name?
Tim Craig is first.
No.
Correct.
He
That's
was
the last one.
Lettner is first.
Whoever Brandon,
said Lettner.
who did Brandon do?
He said Lettner.
Lettner.
That's the
I'm
first
gonna keep
vote
repeating it until you guys believe me.
Okay, call for the vote
for Lettner.
on casting the 1/19th vote for Lettner. Aye.
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 Okay, we're just doing it like that.
Sure.
Okay, hold on, I just lost my mouse.
You barely made it, Brad.
You know what?
Aye.
This is almost like the congressional vote at 11 o'clock at
We
night,
just
you know?
need to get an even
Vote for
number
the
of
speaker.
lots.
Huh?
Can we make a purchase or
Yeah.
something?
Buy one more lot.
Split
And
a
then
lot?
the
Sell a
second
lot?
one you did, Joe, who was the second person?
Michael?
Michael.
Michael is here.
Michael Hinkson.
All right.
Call for a vote on Michael Hingston receiving one, or the 19th vote.
Aye.
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 Michael, you also barely made it.
And then your last one, Joe.
5 out of 5 votes.
Tim Craig?
Tim Craig?
And call for the vote.
Aye.
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 And now you can vote on the original resolution.
Aye.
Boy.
Aye.
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 Aye, aye,
Aye,
Aye,
aye,
aye,
aye
aye.
is right, Michelle. You ain't wrong, sister.
Aye. Do you need a break now, Michelle, to catch up? Or?
Yes, I need to go potty.
We're going to have a
I have to.
professional development on Robert's rules. And I'll tell you that this wasn't exactly according to Robert's rules, but rather than try to give a lesson right now, we're going to go with this.
We'll go to the next professional development, though. I sign
We're going to
up.
be offering it
As
to
tribute.
all.
I'm there.
All come.
I would say this, because of the group here, if we could make it 5 minutes, because I know they want to be, they
Yeah,
want to be
5
heard.
minutes, yeah, right.
Our first coordination is our board needs to come to your Robert's Rules list. If you have that training, please invite us. It'll be our first coordination.
Brad, I have a feeling that you know a whole lot more about that than we do.
Are we taking a break?
Yeah, let's take a 5-minute break.
5 minutes.
We tried 2 years ago.
So Michelle can straighten all this out.
So we're just going to take a 5-minute.
We'll work on this for the next 20 minutes.
Oh, good.
So we go to.
We're gonna send you there anyway.
6-1,
Call to order.
You ready for the
trustee goals,
which is
6-1.
Brady and Pinkerton?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, I put it there for.
You got a lot to report on. Had a lot of meetings.
I can get mine out of the way.
You get to go first.
No, I will. Okay.
So who's going first?
That just
You?
happened. I'm like, why did that just
Have at it.
Okay. I have Board Goal 1, and it's supporting actions that demonstrate the college meets accreditation standards. And there are 13 accreditation standards that the ACCJC has established for the College Governing Board. And we have 8 board policies that we have reviewed before this meeting. And tonight, we are going to determine the process that we'll use. And basically, what the board policies boils down to is if we are relevant, the board is relevant to the staff, the students, and the community.
My goal is to better connect the college with the business community. And this last month, 2 weeks ago, we had a very successful luncheon upstairs with a group of civil engineers and local architects. We had 20 there, and we had some of our senior staff and deans, Tyler Cookforce. And I think that they all walked away with not only a better understanding of what VVC is trying to do, but we got a better understanding of what they need in us training their students, whether it be on CAD or other kind of programs. So that was, I think so far, Dr. Walden, I think you'd have to agree, of all the ones we've done, I think 6 so far. This was by far, this was not the biggest group, but I think the most engaged group because most of the people there were all business owners.
Yeah.
Next week, on April 19th, we are hosting the mining industry. And I just want to say a big thank you to Latrice L.J. Johnson in my office for stepping up and really helping out. And when I say really stepping up, her daughter was almost killed 6 weeks ago. And will probably never quite walk again. And from whether she's down at Arrowhead where she goes twice a week, she's sending out emails and all that. I have talked to Dr. Walden. We see kind of a change in the economy coming up right now. So I see somewhat of a slowdown, which will challenge us in what we do. So I've talked to Dr. Walden and to Robert Sewell to see how we could maybe get some help and kind of better coordinate some of the groups that we want to do. So this is an ongoing effort. We want to reach out to the legal community, Brandon. We want to reach out to the aviation community. We want to reach out to the municipal communities. But I think as we see ourselves going through the next couple months, we're going to need some help. So I just want to thank VVC for allowing us to do this. This is fun. And I think the one thing that we're walking away from is our senior leadership at VVC is hearing directly from the community leaders and from industry, and the community industry is learning a whole lot more about VVC than they never knew. So it's really fun. Just takes a lot of work.
I would just add in to say, when we've had these meetings, we've always had the discipline faculty come, and they are the most enlightening of all the attendees as to what's going on with the boots on the ground in their disciplines and in fact, I'm looking at one right here. Troy has been to 2 or 3 of these, and him being able to just share what's going on in welding and the faculty have been just tremendous contributors to this. We always have the area administrators there as well, and everyone. It's just been a great experience, and I thank Trustee Brady for doing this. It's making my job much more effective, I think. It's one thing for me to go to chamber where there's 300 or 400 people, and I shake hands with a few people, but these are getting people actually on campus, and I love it. Anytime we can get somebody to walk on the campus from the community, that's a positive. And so They come on the campus, they have lunch with us, they get to know some of our faculty, they get to know our administrators, and it's just been really, really positive thing. Thank you, Trustee Brady.
And I'll say this, I can't tell you how proud I am of every one of you that support this. You walk in the room now and you have these lunches and everybody gets along and we're all striving for the same thing. So I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Individual Board of Trustee reports.
Okay. Board communication. At this time, the Board of Trustees will report on matters directly related to their functions as board members, attendance at conferences, professional affiliations, and community involvement. Who wants to start?
You guys always look at me.
Ladies first.
Oh, definitely not me then. Thank you for having me. And in order to keep things short, since we have quite an agenda, I attended a very small portion of the beautiful Miss Orte's Conversations with Women for Women's History Month. I was not able to attend the whole thing due to work. You know, work gets in the way. But thank you. That was a really well thought of event. So I appreciate your efforts. That is all. Thank you.
Sharon?
Okay, my husband and I, John, we went to the Armed Man Choir and Orchestra concert, Brigham Welch and Karen Miskell put on, and that was a fabulous concert. It was about war, and you could really feel the music, you could feel the pain of war. It was just incredible, the music. It was, and also, they had, in the choir, they also had Sultana and Serrano High School in there too. It was beautiful. You didn't see it. If they do it again, it's fantastic. And then I hope you all had a wonderful Easter. I did. I went and saw family. And I didn't go to the women's conference, which I was hoping to, but I was with the grandkids. So, but anyways, I wanted to make a note on the women's thing, that there are more women that are here at VVC, right, than there are men. So for men, this is a great place to be.
We got you. I like that.
That's good.
Matter of fact, I've met a few that met up here and got married, so all worked out.
You know, that's another thing we should use, Robert, for marketing. Single guys come to VVC.
Find your mate here. Anyway, that's it for me.
Brandon?
I'm off.
True.
That's true.
There we go. Not a whole lot to report. My Oak Hills High School mock trial team that finished first in the county champions. We went to state down in Los Angeles at downtown court. That is a huge courthouse. I'm so glad I don't work there. And we finished in 11th place in the state.
Wow.
So
That's good.
not first place, but
That's still.
good bunch of kids. And today, sorry I was late for everybody who noticed me run through. I finished about a month and a half long jury trial that they shipped me down to San Bernardino on, and we got verdicts at like 3:30 that bled up until almost 5, which is why I was running in the door barely on time, but I did attend the closed session via Zoom. So that's it.
I'm fine. It's a shock, I know.
Oh my gosh.
Record it.
Write that down. He's not
Joe had
speaking.
nothing to say.
I just hope everybody had a great Easter and, and looking forward to seeing you next month. And I have really nothing much to report. It's been a slow month for me. So I had my eyes operated on, no more glasses. No more glasses. And I can see you, I can actually see people instead of hear voices. So anyway.
Yeah, he actually told me I was uglier than he thought.
Yeah, the voice sounded smoother.
Okay, well, it's my turn.
Okay.
We will not have ASB goals tonight, so keep, in.
I think
Oh, do
they
you?
they
Oh,
sent
the
someone
students
for
here?
it.
Are we having an ASB report?
Come
Oh, the
on
Washington DC group.
down.
Yay,
Oh, you're back, yeah.
come on.
You made it back?
My babies. Shailene. There's been a lot going on today.
You're all gonna come up, huh?
Sure
Yes, they're
processing a
doing
lot
some
tonight.
support.
She's all sassy, that's why. She's all aggro.
I love it already. That was the whole idea. I know, they look sharp.
Yeah,
Robert, you should get some shirts for us.
so tell them what you did, where you went, why you went.
We actually have a presentation planned.
Oh, it's all in there?
Yeah, I'm just waiting on it. Yeah, sorry.
Fantastic.
So while we're waiting, how about everybody says their name?
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Slowly and spell it for the record.
Hi, my name is Brian Ochoa. I'm Student Center Development. My name is, oh, you want me to spell my last name?
I can spell your last name, what is
Student Center of Development. Student Development. Sorry.
Got it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Andrea Steven. Do I need to spell my first and last name? Steven like Stephen, Stephen. Yes, I am the ASB secretary, so I know your pain. So.
Hi, everybody. My name is Maria Oliveros, and I'm a business and math senator.
Hello, everybody. My name is Richie Quiroga. My last name is spelled Q-U-I-R-O-G-A. I am the activity senator.
Hi, everyone. My name is Angelica Howard, and I'm a student at large. Hello, I'm Amber Herrera. Last name is Herrera. I'm the student advocate.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jairo Reynoso. My first name is spelled Jairo, and I'm the Student Services Senator on the ASB Council.
Hello, everyone. My name is Julene Manuel, Geline, and Manuel is Manuel. And I am the ASB Vice President. Myself and our Student Body Council are incredibly excited to share with you our experience attending the 2023 American Student Association of Community College Advocacy Conference. As you guys may know, Victor Valley College has participated in ASAC's conferences for more than 25 years. For this year's trip, VVC had the pleasure of accepting achievement as a 3-time Campus of the Year. And yeah. This year, VVC also presented a workshop which featured a unique and effective approach that student leaders have in collaborating and working with our college administrators and our decision makers. Sorry. I really, this presentation, sorry. Our goals that we had for this year's conference aligned with every other, or all the other goals that we've had every other year. As student representatives, our responsibility is to amplify student voices. So we hope to learn about the different ways that we could handle different student concerns, as well as becoming more informed on the issues that we have had arise at other community colleges. And using the techniques that we learned within the conference workshops about advocacy, we also prepared for our meetings with Congressman Obernolte and Senator Feinstein's staff. Feinstein, I learned that. For the conference, we had the privilege of taking part in the Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers laying of the wreath ceremony. 4 of our council members, President Fulton, Senator Vanderhay, Senator Reynoso, and student advocate Herrera, who's right there, laid the wreath with Victor Valley College's name written on it. It's kind of covered with them walking back. Unfortunately, I should have probably found a better photo. But it was a beautiful ceremony. They played taps, and it was just an incredible honor to watch in person. The conference itself was 3 days long, and this is just a quick overview of all the things that we did, and we'll get into some of these things a little bit more in depth in the next couple slides. Day one started with our volunteer service project. Each council member helped place recycling bins all around the National Mall, by the Washington Monument, by the Martin Luther King Memorial, to support the annual Cherry Blossom Festival. As you can see, it was a great experience, and it felt really rewarding to be able to clean up such a historically significant area. These are some photos of our first day of the conference. Sorry, they're having reactions because this is the first time they're seeing this. We participated in ASAC's prioritization of the most pertinent student concerns within community colleges. In the middle photo, we were discussing what VVC's vote should be in terms of what we should prioritize, whether it be the Higher Education Act or the Pell Grant or DACA. We attended workshops and listened to incredible speakers. As you can see, Secretary Stephen was having a conversation with, I believe he was the Paralympic gold medalist, swimmer. He was a swimmer. We did that all while networking with other community colleges. Fortunately, most of them were from California, so most of our concerns were pretty similar. As I said before, we also had the opportunity to speak with Congressman Obernolte's staff. Each member of our student government was able to share our personal stories and touch the hearts of the staff members that met with us. We advocated for the extension of the Pell Grant and to keep the Higher Education Act, all for the betterment of ourselves and Victor Valley College's student body. We also had a chance to get an exclusive tour of the Capitol building, which was really, really cool. To be able to see the iconic rotunda was even more beautiful in person, and every corner of the Capitol made you feel like you were, that's not the word, you just felt immersed in rich history. Yeah. We had a similar experience the next day in Senator Feinstein's office. The staff member that we met with was actually the senator's legislative aide for education. We shared our stories again and advocated for the HEA and the Pell Grant, and continued the conversation with our legislative aide even after our allotted meeting time, because he thought that our stories were incredibly important to whatever he was wanting to report to the senator. Aside from representing the college, we were able to take part in the culture and history of Washington, D.C. in our downtime. Some of our senators, as you can see, went to some Smithsonian institutions, and others went to the National Mall, and had all of the monuments to themselves to explore. As previous NASA interns, myself and Senator Reynoso were invited to NASA headquarters to meet with our mentor, Dave Berger. He's an aerospace engineer tied to the NASA Armstrong Prandtl project. I'd like to say that it was an incredible privilege to be able to meet with our mentor and also share this experience with our leadership mentors, Robert Sewell and Tim Isbell. You guys don't have to read that. Flying to Washington, D.C. To attend the ASAC conference was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be able to empower student voices, to learn effective political proposing, is something us council members can take and implement in our everyday work as on-campus student leaders. So, thank you so much for your time and your continued support of Victor Valley College's associated student body.
That's why we're here.
make us proud. John Nolan, can you come and give us a brief report?
Facilities is not that glamorous, but I can give you a report. We're really busy on campus. The stadium and event center's going well. If you've been by there, they poured the foundations for the light poles. The light poles will be put in place on Monday, if you want to come watch the crane in action. We've got a large landscaping project going around Building 31. I would like to thank the contractor for citing a bunch of unknown utilities that we've didn't know about. He's hit electrical lines, water lines, and a gas line that were undocumented. So we've been scrambling. I apologize to the campus community for all the disruption, but that's what comes with construction.
But he hasn't hit the sewer line yet.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
It's still happening.
You gotta call 811.
Well, we did. Yeah. So we've got a lot teed up. Right now, we've got an LED upgrade conversion project going on in the ATC mall area, the future engagement centers. We've got a swamp cooler project in Building 65 that's going out to bid. We've got a campus-wide painting project going out to bid. Actually, the bids come in on Tuesday next week. We've got, we did some gutters on some of our portables that the gutters were in pretty bad shape. We did some sidewalk work in front of the library this week during break. So that's kind of it on as far as projects. We've got a lot going on, and I think in your packet, I asked Michelle to include copies of some letters from the Standard & Poor's Global Ratings Agency. So over the last month or so, we've doing a routine review of our ratings for our bonds program, which had about a 20-page questionnaire that we had to fill out. A lot of data collection, audit reports, budget reports. And then I had an hour Zoom call with the S&P rating personnel. And I'm happy to report that our credit rating on our bonds went from AA- to AA. So we were upgraded. So it was all worth the effort. I want to thank Marie. There was a lot of data we had to collect and send off. And so that's good news if we're going to talk about issuing any more bonds. So that's my facilities report.
John, quick question. When you say campus-wide painting, so are we talking about a pretty big painting
Yeah.
job?
Interior and exterior and some doors. Yeah.
So it'll kind of brighten up the campus?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do, yeah. We did paint at the Child Development Center, the new cosmetology area on the exterior, Building 10A across was painted on the exterior. So yeah, we're trying to get a lot of that exterior paint done.
51 ABC.
51 ABC was all painted on the exterior, new gutters. That's where our new basic needs center is going to be. We're putting some flooring in it on Monday so we can put coolers and large refrigerators in it. Right now, the floor is not rated for that kind of weight, so we have to put in some plywood subflooring to get the refrigeration equipment put in. So
I know we've talked about this at prior board meetings, but more and more people, I think, in Spring Valley Lake are driving around to see the construction. And those that get a chance to say something to me about the baseball diamond, I promise them that someday we're going to try to tackle that.
yeah, we're
issue.
working on that. We've got a design underway for some irrigation in the field itself, and then we're looking at some finching proposals right now. So, yeah, we're going to try to clean it up the best we can, sit next to a new facility.
Yeah, thanks.
Chris, are you here for the foundation? Okay, come on. Unfortunately, Kirsten could not be here tonight due to a death in her family. Actually, her father passed away just pretty suddenly, so she is with them. I was going to announce tonight, and I'm still going to do it even though she's not here. But when she does come, we'll make a special thing of it at that time. But she was selected by the campus to be the permanent executive director of the foundation. Could not be here tonight as a college to a death in her family. There's two of me, see, actually her father. One of me is always thinking ahead of the other.
Not paying you twice.
Yeah, so, hey, tomorrow's the foundation board meeting, and I will be announcing it there. And I didn't want to do that before I had a chance to announce to this board and community here tonight that she was the choice. So kind of her first assignment will be to hire the other foundation employees. So she'll be chairing those hiring committees, and they'll be following, obviously, the ed code as to how you're hired under, to be an actual college employee. So congratulations to Kirsten, and Chris, thank you for being here. We'll let you report.
Thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. Good evening, board, President Walden, and of course, all of our attendees tonight. It's my pleasure to be here to share some of the great information and going-ons of the foundation. Unfortunately, yes, Kirsten isn't with us tonight, but she does send her regards. But it's my excitement to share with you some of the great things. So here on our next slide, it's my pleasure to share with you all that the Network for California Community Colleges is going to be recognizing one of our, in the VVC Foundation and VVC College's biggest donors and supporters, and they're going to be awarding the Bernard Osher Philanthropist of the Year Award to the San Manuel Band of Mission Indians. So, that is a tremendous honor, and we're so very proud of our partners there at San Manuel Band of Mission Indians. They have supported the college over numerous different programs with both dollars and donations of equipment and their time. Last year, we were very honored to be recognized at their Yawa Awards and receive recognition from them as well. So it's great to see our partners in the limelight as well. They have donated over $17.5 million last year in 2022 to California community colleges. All of that staying right here in Southern California and in our valley. So it's a huge impact. So we're very proud. That's a lot of money. That's a lot. So I hate to jump around a little bit. I will be sending an email as soon as I walk out of the room to Michelle with a link to share with all of you. Because this Thursday, the 13th at 11 a.m. is when the actual presentation will take place for the award, and we would love anybody and everybody on campus to tune in and show our support. We do have a video that I'll show you in just a few, just as a reminder of some of the great things and works that they've actually contributed here at VVC. Next slide, please. So we are midway through the Victor Valley College Foundation Scholarship Drive. Our application officially closed on March 31st, and we have been busy putting together student application packages and getting them ready to go out to all of our review committees to be ranked and, of course, awarded. So I'm incredibly happy to share that this year we had 1,686 students work on their scholarship application. It probably won't be too big of a surprise to hear that that is a new record number. Over 500 students increase from over the last 2 years. So very happy to see that. So part of the process is what we do is we make sure that they have a complete application package, which consists of an application, a personal essay or statement, letters of recommendation, and transcripts. So of those 1,686, we have 511 fully screened and ready to go to committees. Again, that is over a 10% increase from last year of how many students will actually be considered for scholarships. So I'm very excited. We will be back next month with an update, and then in May with some updated numbers on how many dollars and how many students are actually being awarded. So I would invite everybody here, if you've never had the opportunity, or if you're a seasoned pro, to join us in reviewing these scholarship applications. We'll be sending out a link campus-wide to anybody who's interested in reviewing, and we would love to have you join our committees. And then I will go ahead and conclude by sharing this video with you that shows some of the great impacts that, of course, San Manuel Band of Mission Indians has had here on the foundation and, of course, our college.
Good afternoon. My name is Julian Castaneda. I'm a paramedic student here at Victor Valley. I completed my fire academy here a couple years ago, and I've had nothing short of a great experience here at Victor Valley, from the tools and the resources that we get from the school, from San Manuel, and even the faculty here as well. They've been providing everything for us, from the equipment that we use in Sims labs, all the cardiac monitoring, and all the equipment that we have. Everything is just set up for us to succeed.
Hello, my name is Alejandro Beltran Reyes. I'm a first-time student over at VVC, and I've been very fortunate to be on the receiving end of San Manuel's generosity. We're given some of the latest and greatest technology. We're given some of the best classrooms, the best faculty to work with. They're very helpful in all they do for us, staying the extra mile to help teach us, using all the best possible equipment that resembles real-life scenarios, real-life situations. And we're just very, very lucky, very thankful, and very grateful. Me personally, being here first time, I'm blown away by how advanced all the technology is and just how helpful the staff is as well. And I know that it's all thanks to San Manuel.
Hi, I'm Dave Olson. I am the Program Director and Department Chair here at Victor Valley College for the Emergency Medical Services Program. And I'm here today to talk about the wonderful gifts that San Manuel has provided our discipline here at Victor Valley College in Emergency Medical Services for our students. That's been technology, that's been a brand new, beautiful ambulance that we received a couple of years ago, cardiac monitors, technology in the classroom, and our mannequins that we're using to train the future public safety providers in this county. These gifts that our friends at San Manuel have provided to us have allowed our students to excel not only while they're here in the classroom, but when they're finished with their program of study and they actually go out and do the things that they've been trained to do. They're well prepared, they're hired very easily, and they succeed.
Thank you, San Manuel.
Thank you, San Manuel.
Thank you, San Manuel.
We love you, San Manuel.
We love you, San Manuel.
On behalf of the faculty and students here at Victor Valley College, the Emergency Medical Services Program, thank you, San Manuel.
Thank you all so much. Any questions? Happy to.
Chris, just out of curiosity, is the increase on the number of people applying based on the economy, or what are you hearing?
That's a great question. I like to think that it's a little bit of both, but mainly our outreach efforts. Over the last several years, we've really built up our efforts both here on campus with the different workshops that we offer and the different opportunities to have students handheld through the process, as well as our outreach to our local feeder high schools, letting them know that this is the best opportunity to help compensate for those additional costs with books and expenses. We've also tried to do our best to let the student population know that a lot of the extra funding that we had that was helping with bookstore purchases or lab fees or anything like that, uniforms, was not going to be available going into next year, and scholarships is really the way to do it. So I think it's a little bit of both, realizing the writing is on the wall and also just making sure people know that it's not an unattainable goal to get a scholarship. It is something meant for any student, whether they've attended a class or never attended a class before in their life, to be able to complete an application and have a good standing to win an award. Thank you. Thank you. All
Thank
right.
you.
Have a great
Thank
evening.
you.
Thank you very much.
So, as final comments tonight from me, we just this week, on Friday, will be submitting our Period 2 report that has to do with our full-time equivalent students. And we are happy to report, because of the work of all of our staff and our faculty and our administrators, that we have at this point a growth for the 2022-2023 year of 21.4% over the previous year. And that's because of many reasons, but I can tell you what I believe some of the major ones are. One is the way that our classified professionals care for the students that they serve every single day at the counter, on the phones, and over the email, and whenever they are interacting with them. And another reason that I believe that this number is up is because we have many faculty, hundreds of faculty that are full-time and part-time with the boots on the ground, are in the classroom with the students, engaging with them. You know, a lot of times people will hear things about, oh, you know, 2 or 3 people here that there's a problem with. But I believe this is after 4 years and 4 months at this college, most of our faculty, almost all of them, I believe truly care for the students and do everything that they can to help those students, to accommodate those students. I know you hear stories and, you know, it's just like that. There's always going to be some. But don't forget, that's just a few that need help in how they deal with people, because most of them, I work with them all the time. I know I'm not the academic officer anymore, so I'm not as close to faculty as I used to be, and a dean like I was for 9 years. But I do have the opportunity to work a lot with our faculty, and I know that our students come back and they tell other students that how great it is here, and a lot of that is because of the positive experience that they have in our classrooms. And so thank you to our faculty. We appreciate you very much. And, you know, I thank God for our mid-level managers, all of our supervisors, our managers, our classified managers, our directors, and for my cabinet that works very closely with me. And so everybody knows this. If you work with me very long, I am not a micromanager. I do the president's job. I get paid to do that. I don't get paid to do a lot of things I could do and have done. I could sweep the floors. I could pick up trash. I could teach a class. I could do a lot of things. But my job is to be the superintendent president. So I just say thank you to all of the managers and those that are on the president's leadership team. We really appreciate you. So what I'm saying is this is because this growth, and from what we know for sure from the Chancellor's office that we are one of 8 of the 116 colleges that now has more students than they had prior to the pandemic. There's only 8. And from what I understand, we are number 1 for the 22-23 year. So that's because of all of you, and I want to thank the board for their support and all the things that we presented. The outreach team, the ambassadors, all these people. It's not any one person's thing. It is everybody pulling together, and I think I know we're in some strenuous times trying to close out these contracts, and I'm hoping that when we do, everybody feels better. But we'll get past that and then go forward and continue to do great things. The 24-25 year by law now is going to be the minimum threshold funding for California community colleges. In other words, there's a lot of colleges in the state that were in decline before the pandemic, have continued to decline, and they've been protected by a hold harmless. In 24-25, whatever you get, whatever you earn is what you're going to get. That becomes your permanent base. Now, we're a growing college. So that means if we continue to grow, whatever we have in 24-25 becomes our permanent base, and we never will fall below that. Even if you lose enrollment, you never fall below your permanent base. If you are below your permanent base, you will not get COLA and things like that, and other increases, but you will always get that amount. So it's really important for the next couple of years that we give it an all, put the pedal to the metal, and let's build this college as much as we can, because that's the best fiscal security for this college in the long term. So I just want to say it's just awesome. If I was to drop dead tonight, I would say I had the privilege of being the president at Victor Valley in its some of its finest hours. And so for 21.4% increase in 1 year, that's just incredible. I think you should give yourself a hand.
Oh, yes.
Dr. Walden, President Henderson, I know this board echoes what Dr. Walden said. I've seen a lot of changes up here in the last 10 years, and I think many of you have. You're not going to go anywhere tonight, Dr. Walden, but this is a great time to be at BBC, and it's great to see everybody working together. So I just want to thank you all, because I've really seen it. I mean, there's a different tone when you drive around the campus now. There's a different tone when you walk in the buildings than there was 12 years ago when I arrived. So thank you all from the bottom of my heart, and I think from the bottom of all the trustees up here.
Yes. Came out funny.
Yes.
Brady Bunch.
Yeah, that was, you know where that came from. Jen punched me in the side when I was trying.
I did. I'll do it again.
Okay, reports.
Academic Senate?
They're here.
Love it.
Yeah, you're looking good, Troy.
Yeah, here he goes. Good. Hi, I'm Julia Wendt. I'm the Vice President of the Academic Senate. Beside me is Troy Coons, who's our Legislative Liaison of the Academic Senate. Now, we in the Academic Senate have realized recently that, we're on the agenda for the Board of Trustees. So we want to make sure that we're actually coming here, reporting out to you, and engaging in collegial dialogue with you all. I think what you'll see on the horizon from us, we're looking to innovate, we're looking to meet the students where they are, we're looking to partner and really bring VVC up further. Troy, did you want to talk about some of the stuff and then it'll come back to me?
I'll just talk very briefly. So the role of legislative liaison is really new to the Academic Senate. Before it was a treasurer's position. So my position now is to monitor legislation as it comes from the state of California and make sure that the board and the college administrative team is aware of things that are coming down the pike. So as I'm the chair of or the head of the welding department, amateur physicist, but I live my life by procedure, like that's life. So that's what I bring to the Academic Senate team for as long as they'll continue to vote me in, is making sure that we have in place through collegial consultation through the board and the president, we're the intermediaries, right? Between the two is that all of our policies and procedures are accurate, upholdable, and obtainable. That's going to be our big goal moving forward. We do apologize on behalf, Lynn couldn't be here tonight as the president of the current Academic Senate, is that the past Academic Senate president, and COVID aside or whatever, that we weren't quite present over the last couple of years, and that's kind of not really a shining mark on us, but us coming here tonight is really just more of a commitment to let you know that the Academic Senate will indeed respond to our needs into the 10+1 and protecting the academic institution of Victor Valley College through policy and procedure.
In tandem with that, I know Troy and I both joined Senate for the same reasons. We see the same challenges on the horizon, and we want to meet those challenges. In my previous life, before I got my doctorate in political science, I worked in higher education administration. I did my dissertation on the cyclicality of enrollment by discipline. So we understand the things coming ahead, and we want to be an active part of the solution going forward with that. Other than that, we are also, just from the Senate perspective, we're looking forward to the contracts being completed. We think that will help bolster morale on campus. We want to work with everybody, and I have to say, it's because of the wonderful staff here that I've been able to do what I do as a faculty member. People like Jan Espinosa or Michelle Laveau, I couldn't do what I do without those people. And so I look forward to working with every constituency on this campus. Troy, do you have anything else?
Just questions, if you have any.
We just appreciate you showing up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Apologize. So,
No
No need
need.
to apologize.
No need. Thank you for being here.
Can't do anything about yesterday. Can only worry about tomorrow.
Come on back next month. Open invitation.
Is there an AFT representative? No. Okay, so CSEA.
How about ASB? No ASB?
Good evening, Dr. Walden and Board of Trustees. After the last board meeting, we were scolded by the attorney in negotiations. First, by stating we didn't need to speak because the board is well aware of everything that is going on. He must have forgotten that it is our right to speak. Second, by accusing us of saying things that were not true. Supposedly what we stated was there was no COLA offered. No such statements were made. To be clear, COLA was offered by the district in conjunction with a classification study using salary data that is 3 years old. This 3-year-old salary data is being used to justify Y rating approximately 18 positions, which will harm the employees currently working in them. The majority of those that are not Y rated will receive a raise, but it is not adequate for the 3 years they have gone without one. It is the union's position, if the district wants to use those old salaries from the study, then the COLA percentages offered need to be such that they compensate the rising cost of living over the last 3 years, thereby removing the need to Y rate anyone, or at least only grandfathering in a few positions the employees currently hold. If the district wants to create a salary schedule for all employees based on the study, that was done almost 3 years ago, that's fine, but don't harm us in the process. Also, after the last board meeting, I heard negative comments about us speaking out, comments that we were making things up, taking things out of context, or twisting things around. None of that is true. There were many years in the past this college endured us versus them mindset. Then for a time that mindset changed and we all felt like we were on the same team. I am sad to say that mindset has come back even stronger. Some say negotiations is always adversarial, but it hasn't always been this way for us, and I don't believe it should be now. Whether you are the highest ranking person on this campus or the lowest, we are all entitled to be treated with respect and fairly compensated for the work that we do. We last met on March 28th for negotiations. We still have not settled the salary issue. The next date the district has given us is not until April 28th, which is 4 weeks away. There is no urgency from the district to get this contract settled, and our members continue to struggle every day to survive. When you have the means, I suppose it's hard to understand the circumstances of those of us who don't. But the struggle is real for many classified employees, and all we ask is to be compensated fairly for the hard work we continue to do every day. Lastly, another comment I have heard was, I just hate unions. My response to that is, anyone that doesn't like dealing with the unions probably shouldn't work at a place that has them, because this union isn't going anywhere. Thank you.
CTA?
All right, I don't know if I can follow that very well. I'm giving a bargaining update as well. I think it's kind of odd to do a bargaining update. We have to do it in public while the lawyer gets to do it in private. You guys know that you've hired the same lawyer that was hired long before some of you were here. Well, some of you were here. I think I'm one of the ones with more memory that's been on the bargaining team that's dealt with him before. It's the same thing as before. It's moving at a snail's pace. And once you guys said you were rehiring the same attorney, I said, well, it's going to be the exact same thing. It is. It's like deja vu. Progress has been exceptionally minimal. And after the last meeting that we had with him, it turned exceptionally hostile. The last time this same attorney was hired, we actually had to take him to PERB because he wasn't showing up on time. He was an hour and a half late. Sometimes he was taking up to 2 hours caucuses to actually get anything back to us. He's on time now thanks to Zoom. However, he's still disappearing for 90 minutes and then dumping us with a bunch of stuff at the last minute. This was the exact same issue we took to PERB last time and we won. When he does come back and lays big packets on us, we have a lot of questions to ask. Most of the time our replies are actually very vague. And sometimes it's just absolute silence, more of a passive-aggressive method of bargaining, I guess. Also, the lawyer just can't answer them all because he doesn't have any knowledge of processes that go on in this campus, such as departments and program review. He tries to row us. He's been filling up our contract with PERB decisions. We look those PERB decisions up. They actually will say sometimes the opposite of the point he's trying to make on the next page. He will repeat them over and over again, and I'm kind of like, does he not think we're double checking? Maybe they don't at other schools, but I am. I actually enjoy reading them to a point. I think that this attorney is becoming a waste of time and money for the district. His strategy has been to cross everything off, don't bargain, refer to some other law that the district doesn't have to bargain, like say, this is in Title V, we don't have to bargain it. It's the same strategy that was used at Cerritos Community College that was decided as a PERB decision number 2819, where PERB said, get back to bargaining. There's actually sort of, I don't want to call it a litmus test, a 3-stage test of what you are actually able to bargain. And I guess he doesn't think that we're reading that he actually already had a decision to say, stop doing that, go and bargain. When they do ask questions of us, it has become more of an interrogation. Like I said, last time became very hostile. He tries to back us into a corner, and it's no longer a polite situation. I think personally he wears his frustrations and angers on his sleeve. It's supposed to be bargaining, not cross-examination. Trying to hurry here. Faculty mood, it's going downhill, but if the goal was to increase faculty membership at VVCCD, I'd like to say thank you very much.
Management.
No, they're leaving.
Thank you. Yes.
Parcel delivery.
Hand delivered. Wow.
Hello, good evening. Members of the board, President Walden, I'm Lorena Dorn. I'm Dean of Student Services, still interim, and I am giving you a presentation tonight on one of the areas that I oversee. And here it is on the screen. So I am the Dean of Student Services, and in a minute I'll show you all that entails, but tonight I wanted to focus on counseling services to give you a little bit more information on what's transforming in that area and what we're working on. So my goal tonight is to highlight the broadness of the services, the role and the impact on students, and how counselors help us moving forward our efforts, such as moving towards the guided pathways model and focusing on retention and persistence and so forth. And also just to share a little more information that you may not have known about how our services operate and how we serve. So go ahead. So one of the things that is really important for us in our transformation to a new paradigm is thinking about the student life cycle. And so students begin prospecting, thinking about coming to college, and then the onboarding process, and then when they're here, we work on them, staying retained and completing their goals with us. And so we're moving away from what's called the cafeteria style of services, where we have lots of services available for students, but they have to figure out what they need and where to get it from. And so we want to work more towards a model of having students assigned to particular counseling teams and knowing who their team is that they should ask questions to, and working more like on a caseload style where the counselors will have sets of students that they need to follow up with. And we think that moving to this model will be more in service of the Caring Campus initiative that we're working on and helping us move forward on our enrollment by retaining our students and helping them to complete. And what Dr. Walden was talking about earlier in terms of keeping our numbers high with the students being retained here and having them to complete. Next slide. So this is the Student Services Division. I know it's kind of small, but up at the very top is our Vice President, Art Lopez, and there are essentially like 3 areas in student services. So, 3 areas I would say. First is athletics, And then another area that he's responsible for is student discipline and crisis assessment. And then on the right there is my role, the Dean of Student Services. So underneath my scope of responsibility are admissions and records, financial aid, and all the special categorical programs like EOPS, Access, and so forth. And the reason why I wanted to share that with you is because most of those programs have a separate manager to oversee those programs, and since the managers take turns reporting to you, they're going to share about their programs. So if you go on to the next slide, these are the programs that I'm going to focus on tonight. General Counseling, the Transfer Center, and the Information Desk. Those three units under my scope of responsibility, I am the manager. There's no director under those areas. So go ahead into the next slide. So one of the areas is the Information Desk. So if you walk into the One Stop, you'll see the Information Desk. You'll see these two lovely ladies, Carla Carrillo and Paola Lopez, and they work in the general lobby. There's computers there. They help students with anything under the sun. If a student comes in and says, I need to apply, I need help with adding a class, dropping a class, I need to know which counter I'm trying to walk up to, this is my question, but I don't know which counter to walk up to, they help with those things. And so in the summer, they and the ambassadors from the outreach program served about 3,150 students, and in the fall they served about a little over 2,800 students, just there in the general area. All right, next slide. So I asked for a little bit of data from our research office. So this is all based on fall 2022, so it's past data, but it's from the last semester. So what I like to say about counseling services is that we don't operate under the FTES number. We look at the head count of students because all students need counseling support, all students need services. So these are 13,051 individual students with individual lives that are the counseling faculty's responsibility to serve. And I like to say that the counseling faculty unit is a little bit different from the other faculty areas because they are responsible for serving all students. So in some areas, they might only see the students in that major or who need to take classes from that particular discipline, but counselors are going to touch the lives of all students. And it's also a really big unit. So under the fourth column over, the college division, you can see that all of our students are divided into these different programs or have the opportunity to be served by these different programs. But the different programs are under two college divisions. So they're under Instruction, Innovation, and Student Success, and they're also under Student Services. And on the far right column are all the managers that they report to. So counseling faculty actually report to 11 different managers on campus. So again, it's like keeping this group cohesive, it's a big task. Dr. Walden has shared that one of his goals is that all students would have that 5-star experience like they have in a special program. In a special program, they have funding and a certain number of support folks, including counselors and staff, and they have different budget streams, they have different eligibility requirements, so certain students can participate in some programs and not others, or they might opt to participate in some programs and not others. And so there's like a different student to counselor ratio in each of the different programs. But what we want to transition general counseling to is more that model where the students know who their team is, there's a equitable distribution of students to counselors, and the way that we're achieving that is by moving forward with guided pathways. So we've taken general counseling, and instead of being available for all students, we're dividing them into the different pathways like health sciences, STEM, business, and so forth, so that the students know that that's their team of counselors to follow up with, and so that eventually when we assign the students to counselors, the counselors will have like a caseload of students so that they're following up proactively with those students. As you see on the chart there, this is the information that I got from our research office. So out of the 13,000 students, that's the percentage of students served by the various programs. And you can see at the bottom there, two-thirds of the students don't participate or aren't enrolled in special programs. So those are the students served by our general counseling team. And then there's also a couple counselors in outreach, but outreach serves at the beginning stage. If you think about the student life cycle, they serve at the prospecting and onboarding stage. So eventually, I hope to see our outreach team super robust where all students go through that phase and then transition to the team that's going to help them with the retention and completion. Next slide. So for the students served by the area that I oversee, that's about 8,700 students. And this is a chart to show you all of the counseling faculty. So some of our programs are really small and they are only staffed by part-time faculty, and some of them have full-time faculty, and some of them have both part-time and full-time faculty. But it's a large unit of faculty. Altogether, there's 18 full-time counselors and the rest part-time counselors. There are 51 counselors that work together with VVC, the on-site ones at the high schools and on campus. And then in addition to that, there's another 37 counselors who work as the bridge counselors at the high schools on stipend. So altogether, that's like 80 to 90 people that we all need to bring on the same page. They need to have the same information and be following the same processes. So it's a big unit. Let's see. And then down at the bottom there, the transfer center, that's a unique role. It's one full-time counselor, and her services are available to all students. All counselors help students with transfer planning and transfer goals, but unique cases are handled usually at the transfer center, and she also does a lot of workshops to help students apply to the universities and go on tours to the universities, so she has a little bit slightly different role. So this is a lot of collaboration among all of the managers, and also in onboarding all of these new counselors, training them up, making sure they're giving out the same information. It's a lot of professional development. And unlike other departments, it's a lot of being on the same page. We have to use the same processes, same ed plan, same appointment structure, same note-taking, and so forth. Just a couple more slides. So the next slide is the student appointment data from fall 2022. So in general counseling, there were about 5,100 appointments. Counselors do other things as well. They follow up on general emails and so forth. So these are just the appointment numbers. There are about 3,800 unduplicated students seen, and some of them were no-shows. And then in the transfer center, there's smaller numbers of appointments and students seen, but this didn't capture, I didn't have time to ask her before she went on spring break, how many students were served by a workshop. So there's a lot more students served in groups rather than appointments through the transfer center. And we've already started moving towards having students know that they're in a pathway. When they come to meet with a counselor, we ask them, what is your major? So we can have them meet with the counselors from their pathway. And it's a work in progress. One of the things I'll share that hasn't been achieved yet in terms of assigning the students to the counselors is we did have an IT request because we have to have a process of assigning the students to counselors. And so we're just working on figuring that piece out. Okay, just 2 more slides. So I wanted to share also that we have sometimes, just like Dr. Walden said earlier, sometimes you hear the negative, but I wanted to highlight the positive. So we gave a satisfaction survey, and we asked the students if they're satisfied or unsatisfied with the services. 90% of them marked very satisfied or satisfied, and under the comments, they gave really positive comments, like, I love working with my counselor, I feel that they helped me, I understand things better, and so forth. So that was a really positive thing for us to see, and a real boost for the morale on our team. And then last slide. So, and then finally, I was told to share how our services align with the educational master plan. And so, of course, all the things that we do are in an effort to be part of the Caring Campus initiative, to show students that we're reaching out to them. We want to help them succeed and reach their goals. Moving more towards guided pathways, we think that's going to help students know where to receive support and have our counselors be more on target with their information because they're going to specialize in particular areas. And then in terms of the counseling goals that we had in the education master plan specifically. Visibility and utilization, definitely once we start assigning the students to counselors, they're going to know exactly where to turn to. We're already moving forward, as I mentioned, with guided pathways model, and there's more to come. And then working on our professional development so that when we do onboard counselors, they're, they have the right information, they know where to go for support, and so that we're all delivering, top service for our students. And that's my report this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now coming up is the consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered by the Board of Trustees to be routine and has been approved by the Superintendent President, Board Policy 2430. There will be no separate discussions on these items prior to the time the board votes on them, unless a board member requests a specific item be removed from the consent agenda for discussion and a separate vote. Public comment on the consent items from anyone completing a card will be heard prior to the board's vote.
Motion?
Second.
Any discussion?
Can't.
All in favor?
There it is. That took a while. Ugh.
Okay. 11, action agenda. The complete written request to address the board will be submitted at the beginning of the open session portion. Do we have anybody?
No.
Okay, I won't read the rest of it. 11.1, public comments related to action, okay. None. Board of Trustees action agenda, 12.1, separate approval of items pulled from the, none. 12.2, vote for CCCT board election. Okay. We had volunteers last year.
Well, no, this isn't for nominations. This is the actual
The people we're voting on.
vote. So you
people
have,
we're voting on. This is the people we're voting. Okay, got it.
and they get to vote on, there are 9 seats up for election with 7 incumbents running. Each community college district shall have 1 vote for each of the 9 seats on the CCT board.
So we have to select
Only
9.
1 vote may be cast for any nominee or write-in candidate. The 9 candidates who receive the most votes will serve a 3-year term. So you have 9 votes to distribute among those running. And if you open your attachment, there is a list of them. There's 16.
16 people.
And you can vote for 9 of the 16.
So I brought a list of 9 recommendations. Do you have a list?
So why don't you do a motion and a second, get it on the floor, or do you?
I'm making
A motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Now you can debate and
Discussion.
discuss.
Do you have a list?
Yes, so maybe it might be easier to discuss what we've done versus throwing out names right now, and then hopefully we can come down to the names pretty quickly.
Okay, we're
So
good.
do you want to start, trustee?
With what we've done, you mean my list?
Well, yeah, just.
Okay,
just-
I didn't know if you meant past practice
No,
or
no,
something
just what
of
you've
that
done.
nature. Okay, so Andra Hoffman from LA Community College, Carmen Ramirez from Merced, Barbara Dunsheath from North Orange County, Deanna Olveros Lambert from Chaffee, Marissa Perez from Cerritos, Suzanne Lee Chan from Ohlone, Lauren Steck from Monterey Peninsula, Jonathan Abound from Santa Barbara, and Barry Snell from Santa Monica.
Who are the first four?
Andra Hoffman, LA.
Wait, you're going too fast. Okay. All right.
I have them typed, I can send them to you. Oh, Andra Hoffman, Andra,
Okay.
Carmen.
Carmen, okay.
Okay, so I'll just go back in order if that's okay on my list. Andra Hoffman. Carmen Ramirez.
Yep.
Barbara Dunsheath. Sorry, I go fast. And then Deanna Olveras Lambert. Not an incumbent. Marissa Perez. Suzanne Lee Chan. Lauren Steck. Jonathan Abound. And Barry Snell. That should be 9. Okay. Do we line up, Joe?
Well, let me tell you, I thought I actually, I think I got 90% of the way through. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let me tell you what I did. I reached out to 6 trustees that I know. One is the former president of the CCT board. One of them is our own Marianne Tortorici, who wrote about a 3-page dissertation. I mean, she really got into it. Fred Baca from Barstow, Greg Penza from Hancock, Bill McGinnis, who's been one of our instructors for some of our deals that we've done, and Larry Kennedy from over in Ventura. I think where we line up, we line up on probably 6.
Wow.
So
look
what,
at us go.
Yes, so what it is, I put the initial next to the person's name, and I had 4 people that got 5 votes. I got 1 person that got 4 votes, and I got 3 people that got 3 votes, and I only got to 8. And then that was it, so I didn't get to 9. So where you and I are in common on recommendations would be Lauren Steck, Suzanne Chan, Barbara Dunsheath, Jonathan Aboud, Carmen Ramirez, Andra Hoffman. I know Andra is really, I mean, she's like a star.
Yeah.
She tells you that she knows Dr. Walden, so we got to vote for her. I think that's what she said.
Well, she was my recommend. When I replied here, I had to provide a recommendation from a trustee, so she was my reference.
Now, I would tell you this, Trustee Tarpley, the one person that you had that I didn't get any votes for was Jonathan Aboud from Santa Barbara, which.
I thought you mentioned his name, no?
No, that I didn't get any recommendation from the 6 people I reached out to, so. No, I was talking about the ones that we actually had in common, so we had like 6, I think, in common. We could be here all night trying to figure out.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with the 6, and then it doesn't matter.
We don't have to vote for the others.
Yeah, not at all. No, I'm just kidding. No,
Yeah.
I'll concede. I
No,
don't care.
you want to take one, and Brandon can take one, and I can.
I would rather not.
So do you want me to make a motion that we make a motion for Lauren Steck? So just be sure that we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Suzanne Chan, Marcia, no, I mean,
Marissa.
is it Marissa? Yeah.
Perez at Cerritos.
Okay. Yeah, then I think it's 7. Barbara Dunsheath, correct? Carmen Ramirez and Andra Hoffman. Is that 7?
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah, I
I have no
think
idea.
1, 2. Oh, I had, yeah. You didn't have Horchacine, I can't even pronounce item number 10, person number 10. But they got three votes under the ones I tallied.
Okay.
I can't pronounce that person's name.
Hortensia.
Do you want to do it one more time?
Yeah,
And I
do it one
can
more
add that Hortashina?
Sure.
Okay.
Lauren Steck,
Lauren Steck,
Suzanne Chan,
correct?
Barbara Dunsheath,
Correct,
Carmen Ramirez,
correct,
Andra Hoffman.
correct.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And he said Marissa Perez.
Marissa, yeah.
Miss Marissa, hold on. Marissa
and then Hortensina.
Cynthia?
Hortensia.
Yeah. Sorry, whoever that person is. Hopefully they're not watching.
I'm sure they are not.
Yeah, they're gonna bum me in the hallway and say, let me tell you how to spell mine. I'm gonna plant on your forehead.
Their own meeting.
Right.
So that's 7. Okay, we good with that?
So do you want to select 2 more? Who else got votes on your list?
I had, okay, so for those that didn't get our vote, I had 4 people that had 2.
Who's that?
Marissa, no, we got Marissa.
Yeah,
So I have Deanna Oliveras from Chafee, so that'd be 1 from our area.
yep. I
And
say yes
then
to that.
Gregory Hanno from Siskiyou.
Sure.
Yeah.
There we have it.
Let me tell you what was
Doctor
interesting.
could probably tell you about Siskiyou, because that was where he worked.
Do you know that guy?
Yea or
And
nay? Thumbs
we-
up? No, you don't have to say it publicly, so
Just
they'll
like put it like
never
this?
know. Okay, okay. Okay, cool. So he'll never know that you said yea or nay. Okay, so yeah, then that
Cool,
works out
we're
well.
done. Let's do it.
You know, I've got to say this. I really enjoyed reading these people's comments. They got into writing me these long emails, and
That's
and,
so
and
funny.
Mary Ann was great. I think she thought she just had a board meeting. She just
Like,
went
let me
on and
tell
on.
ya.
She's
Yeah,
a
no,
good- she's a
no,
good
it was
person.
great. No, I will let everybody know how much you appreciate it.
Is that 9 or no?
That is 9, so I need a motion for those.
Motion.
Second?
Okay, I know what.
Motion.
Motion,
Second.
and Joe or I.
That's what I heard. I don't know.
You know, we're getting pretty good at this.
I know we really
yelled
are.
out at the same time.
Give it to Joe. He likes that.
Motion Harper,
Makes him
second,
feel
Joe
important.
Brady,
Yep.
1 vote each
For that list.
for that list.
Boom, bada boom, bada bing.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, I remember.
Ready to take the vote?
Si, señorita.
Sorry about that. Thank you, trustee.
Thank you. That was relatively painless.
Cool.
You all have the same first name, trustee.
Yeah, we do.
We need a vote from trustee Henderson and trustee Pinkerton, please.
It's not up on mine.
It's not here.
Would you like to do a verbal?
Sure.
Verbal.
Yay.
Aye.
They're still on the screen. that
Oh,
shows
yeah.
me.
I need to go back to this. There it is. Okay.
Oh, yeah. If you're going through the list.
I went ahead
Sorry
and
about
did
that,
it
Chief.
for you, man. Very tough.
Thank you. So good to us. Same.
Ooh. Art.
All right, 12.3, let's move it along.
Spanked.
And thank you.
Board self-evaluation process. 12.3.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Ooh, give it to Pink.
So this is where you appoint 2 or have 2 volunteers or whatever to work with me on the board self-evaluation.
I volunteer as tribute.
In the interest of time, I'll volunteer.
I almost volunteered you as tribute.
Are you really volunteering, or are you
I
not
am.
volunteering?
No, I beat you, bro. Who are you talking to?
You said in tribute.
I volunteer.
That's
I'll
an easy motion.
I'll
I
volunteer.
think we already have a date. The date's June 12th, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, we've all confirmed that.
Okay, any further discussion?
Nope.
Okay, now we're going to 13.1.
62 degrees.
Approval of resolution number 2309, Victor Valley Community College District. Resolution recognizing Victor Valley Community College Foundation as an auxiliary organization.
Motion. Oh,
Second.
go ahead.
I hear a
You can get to
second.
Brady.
Second.
So the way this was explained to me, any different from this and the truth is a lack of human error on my part. Due to, not lack of, due to human error, is that I notified the Chancellor's office that the board, both boards had approved the resolution or the agreement, not the resolution, but the agreement. They had 60 days to respond, and they did not, and therefore, the board just needs to take an action. This is LCW that has advised us on this, to just recognize them, and after you vote on this, it is a done deal.
All right.
Cool. Any further discussion?
Nope. It should come up on the screen.
Should come up on the screen. There it is. Okay. They're now a auxiliary organization. 14.1, Administrative Services Action Agenda, temporary borrowing between funds for fiscal year 23-24.
Motion.
Second?
Any discussion?
Nope. Nope.
14.2, water purchase, James A. and Sula B. Revocable Thompson Living Trust.
Motion.
Second?
Water bill, $116,000.
And I
Cheap
hate
at
to
half
tell
the
you
price.
this, it's not gonna get any cheaper.
Cheap at half
It
the
was
price.
about that price last year.
Yeah, but it's not gonna.
Not gonna get cheaper.
With the
Oh,
water.
a lot of water.
Well, the water master continues to ramp down.
Hmm.
And they don't believe that with the amount of water that we've gotten this year, that's really done anything great to the basins. Which
that
is really
right?
sad. All that water going down the river.
Yeah.
It's not able to perk yet.
Wasted.
Yeah. Sad.
Okay, Human Resources Action Agenda.
Boyd, we're waiting on you both,
Oh,
bro.
No, then we take, do we vote?
If it logged me out or something. I'm gonna refresh it.
He said, I don't, did you hear that?
I'm good.
So moving on to 15.1, yeah? Yeah?
15.1,
Oh, all right.
okay. Non-classified short-term employees. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Any discussion?
Are you logged in? Oh, yeah.
Yep, there
It
we
popped
go.
up for him.
Yeah, I just re-logged in.
Ooh, it's
I don't have it on, there we go.
a little slow.
You know how to change the view on board docs?
Are you talking to me?
Well, my view has changed. I used to get the right-hand column and then the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, 15.2, academic equivalencies, Jesse
Have the agenda.
Hennekins?
Are you on the live
Motion.
agenda? Second? Oh, give it to Pink.
Got a motion and a second? Any discussion?
Select it. Comes up on the bottom.
His doesn't have that.
It
No,
used
mine's
to.
the same.
Well, he's used to, now it doesn't.
I'm sure it's like a arrow or something.
Yeah, I tried this. Between the
What
things.
about that triangle looking thing?
Agreement, Devaney, Pete, Morse, and Cameron, help LP, increase amount.
Motion?
Second?
Dr. Walden, I'd like you to address this. What's the,
So this is just increasing the PO that we use for general counsel.
so there's no change in what they're charging?
No, his rate is the same. His rate's under contract. But his contract will be up in, I think it's April of next year, so we plan to go out in January with an RFP, which he's welcome to compete.
You do an RFP and an RFQ.
We just do an RFP, right? Well, whatever, anyway, we'll do that.
I want to say this, I like Jeff a lot, and I think we've all worked well with him, but I think it's prudent every once in a while to go out for accounting services and for legal services. It's good to keep that balance, keeps everybody kind of
Yes,
on their
agreed.
toes. But I like Jeff.
Did everybody vote?
Yep.
16, instructional agenda, action agenda, curriculum changes for 16.1.
Motion?
Second.
Discussion?
Uh,
16.2, contract add, modification of existing FCC Victorville contracts.
Motion.
Second?
This is income to the district of 1.3 million.
It's important. It also serves a great purpose out there.
Agreed.
16.2. Any
Yes,
further
I was
discussion?
counting off.
Okay, we're voting on it.
You're laughing at me.
No, him.
Because
Well, I can
I
see.
rounded up from 1.26 to 1.3.
And then he said,
That's legal in the math world.
It's a big roundup.
Oh, what's a couple of $100,000?
Among friends.
Yeah.
Okay, we have first read, 18.1. Can we lump all these together?
So, no, these are all, this
First
is
separate.
information discussion.
Yeah.
These are first read, which you've all received copies of.
Yeah.
This is here for you to comment on any of them if you were so inspired in your midnight reading hour.
Nope, reviewed them, reviewed the changes. It is helpful that you, are you doing it? You're doing it, right?
Yeah,
Oh, Michelle is the hero in this.
Right, so it's helpful that you highlight.
the changes.
The changes,
Yeah.
that's
Or
so
the strike
nice.
throughs, I love it.
You know, you
The VPs of the chapter.
Yeah, so
Student
nice that
services
it's-
are also reviewed them and then Dr. Walton
Yeah.
reviews
We don't have
You
to
really
say,
have us
like,
really well.
What's different, you know?
Comparatively,
It's
yeah.
like highlighted or struck, you know, so you know right away. I like it. Thank you.
I think I should probably read this.
Michelle, you've got us really well trained. I'd make a motion that you just can't retire until everybody on this board is off that board. Huh?
What are you
Don't be
saying?
talking to her about retirement. Don't be bringing
Right,
that
why
up.
you gotta put the idea in her head?
No, she does.
She's
She
like,
really
"Oh,
has this, yeah.
Joe had a good
No, and
idea.
he's
takes
got a
great care
smile
of
on her
us.
face, and yeah, we
Takes
appreciate
great
it.
care of us.
She's already quit wearing heels, just wears flats.
We've worn her out. What are you talking about?
Okay, adjournment.
Motion?
If I could just ask Dr. Walden, there was something tonight that, the counseling that you had on there. I went to I was at Barstow recently at a lunch, and they talked about the mental issues with their students and what they're doing about that. I think Dr. Walden and I talked
You're gonna have a presentation next month.
about it.
So we've already got that ball rolling.
Thank you.
Okay, adjournment.
Second, motion, second.
We already did all that.
Yeah, we're
We already
way,
done it. We're way ahead of you. We're out of here.
You're out of here.
some of us are halfway home.
You're only down by 10.
Those Teslas. Sorry, buddy.